How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a legendary day. Today, we're looking at how I was able to get about 17,500 from mostly cleanup attacks on my third account, the Angel of Light, and I'm going to showcase how I did that and was able to help out the clan at the same time and get a decent amount of points. So first up, we're looking at a workshop. Was able to help clean up one of the other attacks from a graveyard hit. And there are not that many air targeting defenses left. So we start by dropping a pack of minions to tank for the air bombs. And then throw in a bunch of balloons to take out that section of the base. Then we have 11 balloons left for this one section, as well as like 4 graveyard spells to just completely overkill this part of the base. As you can see, all the defenses are down, and it is now just a matter of cleaning up the trash buildings. Super easy. 2,870 plus 172 bonus gold. Next up is a Wizard Valley cleanup. The key with a second attack cleanup is to try and get as much bonus gold as possible. If you do it right, you can very easily get an extra 100, 150, and sometimes even closer to 200 if nothing in the attack dies. So we're coming in with the ground version of the skeleton spam, or the graveyard spam strategy. So we're dropping in a super wizard to help open up a deployment, and then a few giants, and then the rest of the rams. And as you can see, we're just overwhelming this left-hand side of the base with the infernos. And then we are starting to send in some of the tanking troops. And we're attempting to send in some rams, and they are going backwards because they don't want to target these walls because they don't really open up anything. We just want to get a few of the troops in front of this giant pack of troops wandering in, crossing the bridge. So we have a few more rams. Just going to try and pop the traps and try to tank some of these shots from the wizard towers. Because as you can see, we have almost all of our super wizards still alive as they finish up the rest of the base. So we get 3,260 plus 162. Next up, we are looking at a sort of combo version where I set up a second hit for my main account and then was able to finish it off with this account. So we're going in with a couple of barbarians to test for traps and to help open up the deployment zone so we can better send in a line of the super wizards. And this capital peak has a lot of compartments, so I don't even bother with giants. I just am trying to open up as much as I can to try and get the troops into the capital peak, I think under a rage spell for the second attack. So yeah, we definitely know that we're not going to get like a whole lot of points on this first hit, but we do at least set up a couple of the graveyards so that we can use them for the second attack. So that's where on the first attack, we only get 1,800. So very, very little. So now we're taking a look at the final hit on the capital peak. You might have seen the second hit when I was doing the coverage on my main account. But that second hit, we clear out a ton of the base. So now we have a few more of the graveyard spells for this last section. And there's a lot of air targeting defenses left, so we're definitely going to use ground. And we have just a bunch of giants, about 10 of the super wizards as normal. And then we have a few rams to sprinkle in. A good thing to know, though, is if you are certain that your troops will take out the remainder of the base, you actually don't have to drop the rams. Each ram will count as an extra 5 bonus gold that you're able to keep. So you don't even have to risk deploying them and having them destroy a wall. So you can just keep them in your inventory and you'll get the full troop value from them. So now we are able to walk away with 2,810 plus 168 bonus gold. Now we jump around a little bit for the last 2 attacks. This next one is a capital peak hit. Was able to get a decent chunk of the base. And we are going in with the sneaky archers. And I switched to the sneaky archers because I wanted to see, I was sort of forgetting how they performed when compared to the graveyard spam strategy. Because for all of last weekend and then most of this weekend, I was just using the graveyard spam strategy. But I saw that they had the giant cannon and this rocket artillery exposed and pretty easy access to this blast bow. And I thought, well, you know, with a couple of rages, the sneaky archers usually do quite well. So we're able to open up walls, so the troops are able to get to the blast bow eventually. And then we do have a weird section of the base over here where it's a it's like a corner guard with the giant cannon. But all we're able to do is, in order to not time fails, we're alternating different spots. So we were having some dropped over here and some dropped over here. But now we do want to try and prioritize getting into the blast bow, as that will offer a lot of capital peak gold. I believe 500, if I remember correctly. So we'll times 2 from here, as it's just dropping sneaky archers, trying to get them in the rage, and then trying to wait for the splash damage to hit, and then drop another pack. So see, we get that blast bow, and then I think that, you know, potentially could start to open up access to this giant cannon. But there are actually some traps over here. There was, I believe, a giant bomb and a zap trap. So now we have 2 more packs of archers left, and we're trying to figure out, alright, where can we drop them to the most amount of points? So do a split drop to try and get as many of the trash buildings as we can. And then we do the last drop over here to take care of that last defense. So now it's just a matter of getting these last 2 buildings. Then they end up getting no more as we time fail. So we get 3,515 from that sort of random attack. It's trying to test out how the sneaky archers are doing. And then we do the same thing on this last Balloon Lagoon. Try to see what we can get from a first attack. Because I was thinking that the first attacks of the graveyard spam strategy, sometimes they don't go that well. So I was wondering that even though you're not dropping the graveyard spells, can you still get a decent chunk of the base to potentially set it up for a second attack that does use the graveyard spells? So we dropped in a barbarian or 2 barbarians to take out some of these trash buildings. The barbarian on the right hand side got these ones, so now all the deployment zones are opened up, except for on this left hand side of the base. But the goal is to try and get this Inferno, and then this top Inferno. Definitely cannot get into the core of the base with the rocket artilleries, with just the sneaky archers. But we're trying to send in a ram to tank, drop in a pack of sneaky archers, and then we drop in a rage so that we can now target this Inferno tower, and the rage will help get through this wall and these other 2 defenses. Do the same thing on the bottom side. Drop a rage to try and get in like for the approach of the archers, so that they can eventually get to the Inferno, but it also helps them take out stuff a lot faster. So we're really just alternating, you know, one on the bottom side, one on the top side, to try and get to the Infernos, to try and get some of the value from the base. So yeah, we're got only a few packs left. We'll times 2 it, because we're definitely going to get these 2 Infernos, and that's just a matter of where do we drop the last couple packs. So spend some time trying to think. I was like, ideally you want to drop them in a rage so they can get potentially 2 buildings. So we drop 1 on the cannon, and then they are able to get the spear thrower. We drop in another 1 to try and get the trash building, and then this cannon. And we are unfortunately not able to do so. Spent too much time thinking, so the pack of archers on the left never made it to get that last cannon. But we get 2,760 from this random attack. And this account was mostly trying to help get decent value, clean up attacks, and to try and help progress the clan onto different weekends. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Might have picked up a trick or two. If you want to see more of my content, I encourage you to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. And there should be another video on the screen now if you want to see another video. Until next time, take care.